The rain-slicked bridge groaned under Gabriel's sneakers as he teetered on the edge. The Mississippi River churning black and furious below like it was hungry for secrets. "Jump, faggot. Show us how much you miss him." The shout came from the pickup truck idling on the gravel shoulder. Headlights slicing through the downpour, illuminating the jeering faces of three guys from the mill, their laughter sharp as broken glass. Gabriel's fingers tightened on the frayed hem of his hoodie, the one thing keeping him tethered, its fabric soaked through but still whispering Daniel's name against his skin. He didn't jump. Not then. But as the truck peeled out, spraying mud across the guardrail, Gabriel whispered to the wind, "You were right, Danny. Love's just a goddamn trap." And with that, he stepped back into the shadows of Willow Creek, the weight of his brother's ghost heavier than the storm clouds overhead. Gabriel had worn that hoodie every day since the funeral, like armor against a world that had already taken too much. It was oversized on his lanky frame. The gray cotton faded to a soft ash from years of Daniel's restless hands tugging at the strings. Back in their cramped shotgun house on the outskirts of Willow Creek, Iowa, a speck of a town where cornfields stretched like endless regrets and the local diner served family values, with every plate of hash browns, Gabriel moved through life like a shadow. At 22, he was the kid brother who'd grown up too fast, the one who fixed cars at Harlan's garage by day and nursed a six-pack by night, staring at the ceiling fan that still creaked with the rhythm of arguments long silenced. It started 3 years ago, on a humid July evening that smelled of cut grass and barbecue smoke from the annual 4th of July block party. Daniel, 25 and built like a linebacker with a smile that could disarm a room, had pulled Gabriel aside behind the old oak in Mrs. Hargrove's yard. "Gabby," he'd said, voice low and urgent, clapping a hand on his shoulder that felt like the only solid thing in the world. "I gotta tell you something. This big. Like, change everything big." Gabriel had laughed it off at first, wiping sweat from his brow with the back of his hand. They were brothers, blood thick as the Mississippi mud, raised by a mom who'd drunk herself into an early grave and a dad who'd split before Gabriel could walk. Daniel was the protector, the one who'd taught him how to throw a punch and parallel park a Chevy. Secrets between them? Nah, that was for strangers. But Daniel's eyes, those hazel eyes that mirrored Gabriel's own, were stormy, flickering with something raw and unguarded. "I'm in love, man. With a guy." The words hung there, heavy as the fireflies blinking in the dusk. "His name's Elias. We met at that poetry slam in Dubuque last winter. He's everything. Quiet, you know? Writes shit that makes my chest ache." Gabriel's world tilted. Not because it shocked him, hell, he'd suspected for years. The way Daniel's gaze lingered on certain boys in high school, the posters of indie bands with brooding frontmen tacked above his bed. No, it was the fear that crashed in like a freight train. Willow Creek wasn't San Francisco. It was Bible Belt buckles and whispers behind potlucks, where queer was a slur spat like tobacco juice. "Danny," Gabriel had managed, voice cracking like dry earth. "You sure? I mean, what if?" Daniel had cut him off with a grin, fierce and unyielding. "What if nothing? Love's love, Gabby. And I'm done hiding." He'd pulled the hoodie from his gym bag then, oversized, thrift store find with a faint scent of sandalwood cologne, and zipped it up like a declaration. "Wear this when I'm gone. Yeah, keep me close. Gone." The word had lodged in Gabriel's throat like a fishbone. But that night, as fireworks cracked open the sky in bursts of red, white, And blue. Gabriel watched Daniel slip away into the crowd, finding Elias under the string lights. They moved like they were dancing to some invisible song, hands brushing, laughs mingling with the crickets. For a moment, Gabriel believed in miracles. Two boys stealing breaths in a town that choked on conformity. Elias was a transplant, a wiry artist from Chicago with ink-stained fingers and a laugh like wind chimes in a gale. He worked summers at the library, shelving books on hidden shelves while dreaming of galleries in New York. Daniel met him at that slam, reciting a poem about loving in the margins, and it hit like lightning. They were fire and gasoline from the start, late-night drives along the river, sharing stolen kisses in the cab of Daniel's rusted Ford, whispering futures over lukewarm coffee at the all-night gas station. But Willow Creek had eyes everywhere. Old Man Harlan at the garage started side-eyeing Daniel's easy grins, muttering about city influences. Pastor Reynolds preached sermons on Sodom and Gomorrah that felt aimed like arrows. And then there was Tommy Whitaker, Daniel's best friend since Little League, the golden boy with a Letterman jacket and a daddy who owned half the town. Tommy found out first. Stumbled on them one night behind the grain silo, Daniel's hand in Elias's hair, the moon painting them silver. Instead of rage, Tommy froze, then slunk away like a dog with its tail between its legs. The next day, at the mill where they both punched clocks, he cornered Daniel during lunch. "What the fuck, man? You and that fag from the library? My pa's gonna skin you alive." Daniel laughed it off, clapping Tommy on the back. "Love who you love, Tommy boy. It's that simple." But it wasn't. Whispers turned to shouts. Notes slipped under windshields. "Faggot. Sinner. Go back to hell." Elias got eggs thrown at his beat-up Honda. Slurs scrawled in red lipstick on the library steps. Daniel shrugged it off. But Gabriel saw the cracks. The way his brother's hands shook when he thought no one was looking. The extra locks on the doors at night. Gabriel tried to shield them. He'd linger at the garage, tuning engines with grease under his nails, eavesdropping on the bullshit. Heard Danny's gone queer. One of the mill hands would grunt over coffee. Gabriel would clench his jaw, mutter, "Mind your own, assholes." But it was like yelling at the wind. Inside, festered. He loved Daniel more than anything, his big brother, his anchor, but this was a grenade with the pin half pulled. Fall came like a thief, leaves turning blood red as the town turned colder. Daniel and Elias planned to leave Chicago, maybe, or somewhere the air tasted freer. "We'll send for you, Gabby," Daniel promised one crisp October night. Hoodie zipped to his chin as they sat on the sagging porch swing. "You deserve a life bigger than this shithole." Elias nodded, his dark eyes soft on Gabriel. "You're family now. All of us." Gabriel wanted to believe it, but doubt gnawed like termites. What if they got caught on the road? What if Tommy's pa, the sheriff, pulled them over for suspicious behavior? He started wearing the hoodie then, borrowing it from Daniel's laundry basket, the fabric a talisman against the what-ifs. The betrayal came swift as a sucker punch. Tommy Whitaker, of all people, the friend who'd shared beers and broken hearts, cracked under his daddy's Bible-thumping pressure. One drunken night at the VFW hall, after too many shots of whiskey, Tommy spilled it all. "Danny's leavin' with that queer," he slurred to a circle of flannel-shirt men, including Sheriff Whitaker himself. "Gonna run off like some fairy tale bullshit." By dawn, the town was a hornet's nest. Tires screeched up to the house at 4 a.m. flashlights piercing the curtains like accusations. Gabriel bolted awake to pounding fists on the door. "Open up. Daniel, we know what you're planning." It was Harlan, red-faced and righteous, backed by half a dozen others, shotguns propped casual on shoulders like they were going coon hunting. Daniel shoved Gabriel toward the back door. "Go hide in the shed. I'll handle this." But Gabriel wouldn't budge. Hoodie clutched like a shield. Elias was already there, pale as milk, phone in hand dialing for help that wouldn't come in time. The confrontation exploded in shouts and shoves. "You corruptin' our boys. You filthy queer," someone bellowed. Daniel stood tall, chin up. "Love ain't corruption, you blind bastards. It's the only holy thing I've got." A fist flew, Tommy's, tear-streaked and hesitant, and connected with Daniel's jaw. Chaos erupted, bodies tumbling, curses flying, the porch light shattering in a spray of glass. Elias dragged Gabriel back, but not before he saw it, his brother on the ground, bloodied but unbroken, whispering, "It's okay, Gabby. Run free." They fled into the corn, hearts hammering, but the damage was done. Daniel refused the hospital, stitching his own lip with fishing line from the tackle box. "We leave tonight," he rasped to Elias, ignoring Gabriel's protests. No looking back, but Tommy's betrayal lingered like smoke. He showed up at the house that afternoon, sober now, eyes hollow. "Danny, man, I didn't mean Pa made me. Said it'd save your soul." Daniel just stared, the hoodie zipped tight. "You sold us out for a pat on the head, Tommy. That's your soul, not mine." The escape was a fever dream of taillights and backroads, the Ford's engine growling like a wounded animal as they cut through the night toward Dubuque. Gabriel rode shotgun, hoodie sleeves pulled over his knuckles, stealing glances at Daniel's profile, bruised but defiant, one hand on the wheel, the other laced with Elias's in the back seat. The radio crackled with static-laced country tunes about lost love and wide-open highways, but no one sang along. "We'll crash at my cousin's in Chicago," Elias murmured, his voice a lifeline in the dark. "He's cool. Got a spare room, art supplies. We start over." Daniel nodded, but his grip tightened on the gearshift. "Yeah. Fresh slate." He shot Gabriel a wink in the rearview. "You in, little bro? Big city lights. No more cornfield jail." Gabriel forced a smile, but his chest ached. Leaving Willow Creek meant leaving the ghosts, their mom's faded photos on the mantel, the swing set Dad had half built before vanishing. And Daniel? He was the sun. Without him, what was Gabriel but a moth? They made it to the cousins by sunrise, a walk-up in Wicker Park smelling of turpentine and takeout Thai. Marcus, Elias's cousin, was a lanky graphic designer with a beard and a hug for each of them. "Heard the stories," he said, clapping Daniel on the back. "Welcome to the resistance, man. Beers on me." For a week, it was almost normal. Daniel found work at a coffee shop, slinging lattes with that easy charm, while Elias sketched in the living room, charcoal smudges on his cheeks like war paint. Gabriel tagged along, bagging groceries at a corner market, the hoodie his constant in the chaos of honking cabs and street vendors hawking hot dogs. Nights were for rooftop talks, city skyline glittering like a promise. Daniel's arms slung around Elias's shoulders, Gabriel nursing a stolen cigarette and pretending the knot in his gut was just homesickness. But cracks spiderwebbed fast. Calls from Willow Creek started, Tommy first, voice thick with regret. Danny, come back. Pa, sorry. We all are. It was a mistake. Daniel hung up without a word, but the poison seeped. Then Harlan, gruff and pleading. Town misses you, boy. Garage ain't the same without your laugh. Lies, all of it. But Daniel wavered, eyes distant over breakfast bagels. Elias saw it too. They're reeling you in, he said one night, tangled in sheets while Daniel showered. Gabriel lingered in the doorway, hoodie zipped despite the apartment's stuffy heat. Don't let them, Danny. This is us now. I know, Daniel replied later, emerging towel-clad, water dripping from his curls. He pulled Gabriel into a bear hug, the scent of soap mingling with that old sandalwood. You're my rock, Gabby. Both of you. But the hoodie stayed in Gabriel's closet, a silent sentinel. The real fracture came in November, when winter bit early and brutal. Daniel's shifts doubled, tips drying up as the city iced over. Elias's sketches sold sporadically, enough for ramen but not rent. Arguments brewed like bad coffee, sharp words over unpaid bills, Daniel snapping at Elias for dreaming too big, Elias retorting that Daniel was still chained to that small-town bullshit. Gabriel played peacemaker, hoodie on like a muzzle, but he felt the pull. One blizzard night, after a screaming match that shook the thin walls, Daniel stormed out. Need air, he growled, grabbing his coat but not the hoodie, Gabriel's now, by unspoken decree. Hours passed. Elias paced, chewing his nails bloody. He'll come back. He always does. Dawn broke gray and unforgiving. A cop knocked, standard procedure for missing persons in the cold. Daniel's body, they said, pulled from the Chicago River near the Wrigleyville docks. Hypothermia, they ruled. But the bruises on his knuckles told another story. A bar fight, some drunks who'd overheard his accent and started in with slurs. Fucking queer Iowan, one witness muttered to the cops. Daniel had swung first, gone down swinging. Elias shattered like glass, curling into a ball on the fire escape, sobs echoing off the bricks. Gabriel, he went numb. Drove back to Willow Creek alone, the Ford's heater blasting hot against the chill in his bones. The funeral was a circus of hypocrisy. Pastor Reynolds droning about God's mysterious ways. Tommy Whitaker pallbearer with eyes downcast. Harlan clasping Gabriel's hand like a vice. Your brother's in a better place, son. Bullshit. Daniel was in the river, weighted by betrayal, the love he'd chased too bright for a world gone dim. Elias didn't come, couldn't face it. Sent a letter instead, scrawled in black ink. He loved you fierce, Gabriel. Wear the hoodie for him. And for you, find your own light. So Gabriel did. Zipped it up that very afternoon, as snow flurried over the grave, the fabric a shroud for his grief. He didn't cry. Not then. Just drove to the bridge where the river mocked him, and for the first time, considered letting it take him too. Life ground on, mechanical as the mill's gears. Gabriel took Daniel's spot at the garage, wrench in hand from sunup to sundown, hoodie zipped against the oil and the stairs. Willow Creek buzzed with fresh gossip, Elias's abandonment, Tommy's redemption, but Gabriel tuned it out, burying himself in engines that didn't break hearts. Nights blurred into bottles of cheap bourbon, dreams haunted by Daniel's laugh and the river's roar. 2 years ticked by in that haze, until the new guy showed up. His name was Alex Rivera, fresh from LA. With a duffel bag and a resume that screamed city polish. Auto tech with a specialty in hybrids, tats peeking from his flannel cuffs like secrets. Harlan hired him on the spot, muttering about diversifying the crew. Alex was 24, olive-skinned with sharp cheekbones and eyes like polished obsidian. A fade haircut that said he didn't give a damn about small-town norms. First day, he slid under a Honda Civic beside Gabriel, toolbox clanking. "Sup, man." "Alex. You the hoodie guy?" His voice was smooth, laced with that SoCal drawl, easy, like sun on asphalt. Gabriel grunted, not looking up from the spark plugs. "Gabriel. And yeah, it's just a hoodie." Alex chuckled, low and warm. "Nah, it's a statement. Kinda dig it." Mysterious vibe. Gabriel's cheeks burned under the garage's fluorescent buzz, but he played it cool, wiping his hands on a rag. Mysterious? Try comfortable. Like, it was Daniel's ghost, stitched into every thread. They fell into rhythm quick. Alex's quick hands on diagnostics, Gabriel's brute force on lifts. Lunch breaks turned to banter over sandwiches from the diner. Alex ribbing Gabriel about his Iowa armor, Gabriel firing back about Alex's Hollywood hair. It was light, effortless, the first crack in Gabriel's ice since the river. One Friday, after closing, Alex lingered, cracking open a couple of Harls from the mini-fridge. "Come on, hoodie. One beer won't kill ya. Tell me your deal. Why the eternal zip-up? Hiding a neck tat? Or just allergic to the world?" Gabriel hesitated, the beer's bite loosening his tongue. "Belong to my brother, Daniel. He passed." The words tasted like ash, but saying them aloud felt like exhaling after too long underwater. Alex's face softened. No pity, just quiet. "Shit, man. I'm sorry." "What happened?" "Long story." Gabriel swigged, the hoodie suddenly too tight. "Complicated family shit." Alex nodded, clinking bottles. "Aren't they all? Mine's a mess. Dad's a cop. Mom's a teacher. Both think I'm finding myself with this move." Truth needed space to breathe. To be me. The pause hung, loaded. Gabriel met his eyes, saw the flicker, same as Daniel's, that unguarded spark. "Me too," he whispered, surprising himself. Or trying to. That night, Gabriel drove home with Alex's laugh echoing in his ears. The hoodie unzipped just a fraction for the first time in months. Felt dangerous. Like tempting fate. But damn if it didn't feel alive. Fall painted Willow Creek in fiery hues. The air crisp with the promise of harvest festivals and football Fridays. But Gabriel's world narrowed to the garage's hum and Alex's orbit. They were magnets now, pulling shifts together, grabbing post-work tacos at Lupe's Taqueria on the edge of town, where the mariachi playlist drowned out the local stares. Alex fit like he was born to it, his easy charm disarming even Harlan, who grumbled less about that Cali boy and more about the shop's record month. But Gabriel kept the hoodie zipped, a barrier against the thaw. Alex noticed. Of course, those obsidian eyes missed nothing. "Come on, Gab." He'd tease over greasy carnitas, wiping salsa from his lip. "It's 70 degrees. You're gonna melt in that thing." Gabriel would shrug, mutter about chills, but inside, it was a war. Unzip and let Alex in, or stay buttoned against the hurt. The first real touch came accidental, or so Gabriel told himself. Late October, rain lashing the shop like it had that night on the bridge. They were elbow-deep in a flooded transmission on a 98 F-150. Water sprayed, soaking Alex's shirt to transparency, clinging to the lean muscles of his chest and the swallow tattoo inked over his collarbone. Gabriel's wrench slipped, his hand brushing Alex's wrist, electric, lingering a beat too long. "Smooth," Alex quipped, but his voice dipped low, eyes locking. No pull away. Just heat, building like storm clouds. "Sorry," Gabriel mumbled, yanking back, heart jackhammering. He zipped the hoodie higher, as if it could seal in the chaos. That weekend, Alex invited him to the bonfire at Quarry Lake, town tradition. Pickup trucks circling the flames, kegs tapped, stars sharp overhead. Gabriel almost bailed, but Alex's text buzzed. Hoodie required. No excuses. So he went, hoodie on, nursing a red Solo cup by the water's edge while 20-somethings two-stepped to Blake Shelton. Alex found him there, beer in hand, flannel unbuttoned over a thermal that hugged his frame. Hiding again? He plopped down on the damp grass, shoulders brushing. The fire crackled, casting their faces in orange glow. Just observing, Gabriel sipped, the burn steadying him. "You dance," Alex grinned, wolfish. "In LA? Hell yeah. Here? Only if you lead." He stood, offering a hand calloused from tools, warm. Gabriel stared at it like a live wire, pulse thundering. One tug, and they were swaying, awkward at first, then fluid, bodies sinking to some off-key guitar strum. Alex's hand settled low on Gabriel's back, thumb tracing the hoodie's seam. "Feels good. Yeah," he murmured, breath ghosting Gabriel's ear. "Yeah," Gabriel breathed, the admission slipping free. For the first time since Daniel, the world didn't spin off axis. It steadied. They kissed under the smoke haze, tentative then fierce. Alex's lips tasting of hops and salt, hands fisting the hoodie like an anchor. Gabriel pulled back gasping, eyes wild. "Wait, I can't." "Hey," Alex soothed, forehead to forehead. "No rush. Just this." Another brush of mouths, soft as forgiveness. Gabriel drove home in a daze, hoodie unzipped to his navel, Daniel's ghost whispering finally from the passenger seat. But dawn brought the crash. Guilt, sharp as shattered glass. What right did he have? Daniel died chasing this love in the open, and here Gabriel was, stealing sips in shadows. He avoided Alex for days, burying in overtime, the hoodie zipped to his throat like chainmail. Alex cornered him in the break room Wednesday, arms crossed, jaw set. "Talk to me, Gab." "What did I do?" "Nothing. Gabriel stared at his boots, scuffed and oil-stained. "It's me." "This," he tugged the hoodie's collar. "It's not just a shirt. Daniel's. My brother. He loved a guy. Elias. Town ran him out. And Danny. He didn't make it." The words tumbled. A dam breaking, the escape. The river. Tommy's knife twist betrayal. Alex listened, silent, then pulled him into a hug that cracked ribs. "Shit, man. That's heavy. But wearing it doesn't mean you're betraying him. Means you're honoring. Living." Gabriel clung, face buried in Alex's shoulder. the scent of motor oil and citrus cologne a bomb. What if I fuck it up? Like he did. You won't. Alex cupped his jaw, thumb stroking stubble. We're not them. We're us. They tumbled into tentative rhythm after that. Stolen moments in the garage's back lot. Kisses that tasted like possibility. Alex shared his own scars. Coming out at 16 to a cop dad who loved him anyway, but patrolled the house like a prison. A high school boyfriend who ghosted after one too many slurs. Love's a gamble, Alex said one night, tangled on Gabriel's thrift store couch. The hoodie discarded for once on the armrest. But worth it. Every scar. Gabriel nodded, tracing Alex's swallow tat with tentative fingers. For you? Yeah. Winter crept in, snow blanketing Willow Creek in hush. They built a bubble. Movie nights at the old Bijou, fingers laced in the dark. Drives to Des Moines for Thai takeout and anonymous clubs where they danced sweat-slick and free. Alex met the crew. Harlan grunted approval over coffee. The mill hands thawed under his jokes. Even Tommy Whitaker nodded once at the post office. I skittish, like a dog awaiting the boot. But the past was a shadow, lengthening. Christmas Eve. A card arrived, Elias's handwriting, elegant loops on thick stock. Thinking of you, Gabriel. Daniel would be proud. If you're ever in Chicago. A sketch enclosed. 2 silhouettes under city lights, hands entwined. Gabriel's throat closed. He tucked it in the hoodie pocket, unread to Alex. New Year's brought the first real storm. Alex wanted to go public. Screw the whispers. Dap. Let's own it. But Gabriel balked. Visions of Daniel's bruises flashing. Not yet. Town's still raw. Alex's eyes hardened. Raw for who? You or them? I'm tired of half measures. The fight simmered, unspoken, until Valentine's, pink hearts in diner windows mocking them. Alex planned a surprise. A cabin rental upstate, 2 nights of isolation. No hoodies, no ghosts. Gabriel packed light, heart pounding, but as they loaded the Ford, his phone buzzed. Tommy, Elias is in town. Asking questions. Watch your back. Panic spiked. Elias here? After everything? Gabriel bailed last minute, mumbling about a family thing. Alex's face crumpled. Betrayal raw. Family or fear? Which is it? Gabriel? Both? Gabriel choked. Hoodie zipped tight as they drove back in silence. That night, alone in the cold house, he pulled out Elias's card, fingers trembling. Daniel would be proud. But pride felt like a lie when love still drowned men in rivers. Spring thawed the fields but not Gabriel's resolve. Alex pulled back, professional at the shop, wry smiles, no touches. The ache was a hollow drum in Gabriel's chest, echoing Daniel's warnings. Love's a trap. He doubled down on the hoodie, on solitude, until the unraveling hit like a derailment. It was May, dogwood blooms heavy, when Tommy Whitaker showed at the garage, hat in hands, face gaunt as a specter. Gab. Need to talk. About Elias. Gabriel's wrench clattered. What about him? Tommy swallowed, voice gravel. He's back. Stayin' at the motel. Says he wants closure. But Pa knows. And the boys from the mill, they're talkin', dread coiled. Closure or revenge? Gabriel texted Alex. Meet me at the bridge. 8 p.m. Please. Then he drove, hoodie flapping like a flag of surrender, The rivers murmur a siren's call. The bridge loomed like a scar across the twilight sky, chain link rattling in the breeze off the Mississippi. Gabriel parked crooked, hood up against the chill that had nothing to do with May, and paced the gravel shoulder where the truck had idled that fateful night 3 years back. Jump, faggot. The echo mocked him, but tonight, it was his own voice he feared, the one whispering run, before you drag him under too. Alex arrived 10 minutes later, his Jeep crunching stones, headlights dipping low. He stepped out slow, hands in pockets, that swallow tat peeking from his collar like a dare. "Gab," he said, voice even but edged. "This better be good." "After you ditched." "It is." Gabriel cut him off, words tumbling. "Elias is here." "Daniel's Elias. Tommy warned me." The town's stirring shit again. Alex's brows furrowed. Processing. "The guy from the story? Shit. Why now?" "Closure," he says. Gabriel unzipped halfway, the fabric parting like a confession. "But I know this place." Chews up queer and spits bones. "I can't. We can't." "Can't what?" Alex stepped closer, heat radiating. "Love out loud? That's bullshit." "Gabriel. Daniel didn't die for you to cower." The slap of truth stung. Gabriel recoiled, fists balled in the hoodie's pouch. "You don't get it. I watched my brother bleed for it. Tommy sold him out, his best friend. And now, with you, I see it happening again." Alex's eyes flashed, hurt sharpening to anger. "So what? I'm the next casualty? Or are you just scared it's you breaking first?" He grabbed Gabriel's arm, grip firm. "Unzip the damn thing. Show me you're in this." Gabriel froze, the zipper's teeth glinting like accusations. "It's all I have left of him." "Then let it go." "For us." Alex's voice cracked. "Or we're done pretending." The world narrowed to that moment, river rushing, crickets chorusing, Alex's breath mingling with his. Gabriel's hand trembled, inching the zipper down, until the hoodie gaped open, cool air kissing his chest. "Danny loved fierce," he whispered. "Taught me to. But it killed him." Alex's anger melted, replaced by something tender, fierce. He traced the exposed collarbone. "Thumb gentle. Won't kill us. Promise." Their kiss was desperate. A dam burst, hands roaming, hoodie slipping to elbows as they backed against the guardrail, the same one Gabriel had teetered on. For once, the river sang approval. They drove to the motel in convoy, Alex's hand on Gabriel's thigh the whole way. A vow. Elias's room was 12, neon vacancy buzzing overhead like a halo. Gabriel knocked, hoodie half-zipped, heart exposed. The door creaked open, and there he was, Elias, older, sharper angles, dark hair streaked gray at the temples, but those eyes still held the poetry of pain. "Gabriel," he breathed, stepping back. "You came." "Yeah." Gabriel swallowed, gesturing to Alex. Doesn't matter." Elias waved it off, voice a rasp from disuse. "Sit. Please." The room smelled of stale coffee and charcoal, sketchpad strewn, a half-finished portrait of Daniel on the desk, his smile captured in loving strokes. They talked haltingly at first. Elias's years in Chicago, gallery shows masking the void, Gabriel's garage grind, the hoodie's vigil. "I kept his letters," Elias said, pulling a shoebox from under the bed. yellowed envelopes tied with twine. Read 'em when the world's too loud. Alex listened quiet, hand laced with Gabriel's, a silent anchor. Then Elias dropped the bomb. I'm dying. Gabriel. Cancer. Stage 4. Came back to bury the hate. And to tell you, Daniel didn't jump. He fought. For me. For you. Gabriel's world fractured. What? The coroner lied. To protect the family. Elias's laugh was bitter. Sheriff Whitaker's orders. Tommy confessed last month. Overheard his pa on the phone. Daniel went down swinging. Like always. Not giving up. Rage boiled. Hot and holy. Gabriel surged up. Hoodie falling to the carpet. That son of a... Easy. Alex pulled him back. But his eyes burned too. What now? Elias shrugged. Weary. Truth. Maybe. For Daniel. He pressed the box into Gabriel's arms. Take these. Live his love. Not his death. They left at midnight. The motel fading in the rearview. Letters heavy on the seat. Gabriel drove to Tommy's trailer on the edge of town. Beer cans littering the yard. Truck jacked up on blocks like a broken promise. Lights blazed. Voices inside. Rowdy with a game on TV. Tommy answered shirtless. Bleary-eyed. A woman, his sister. Peering from the kitchen. Gab? It's late. Man. Inside. Now. Gabriel shoved past. Alex flanking like backup. The living room reeked of microwave pizza and regret. Framed family photos on walls. Tommy Sr.'s sheriff badge gleaming on a shelf. Tommy sank onto the couch. Face ashen. What's this about? Daniel. The name cracked like thunder. You knew. About the river. The lie. Tommy's eyes darted. Then dropped. Pa said. Fuck your pa. Gabriel roared. Letters scattering like confetti. He died fighting. Tommy. Not quitting. And you let the town bury that? For what? Your guilty conscience. The sister gasped. But Tommy just deflated. Tears carving tracks. I was scared. Gab. After what I did. Pa said it'd ruin us all. I kept quiet. For years. He looked up. Broken. I'm sorry. God. Danny, he was my brother too. Alex stepped forward. Voice steel. Sorry, don't cut it. Tell the truth. Or we do. Dawn found them at the sheriff's station. Tommy in tow. The building squat and silent under sodium lights. Gabriel's hoodie lay forgotten in the Jeep. He stood bare-chested in the chill. Vulnerability his armor. Deputy on duty called Whitaker Sr., who arrived rumpled, mustache twitching like a cornered rat. This true? The old man blustered, but his eyes, guilty, evasive, betrayed him. Tommy nodded, voice steady for once. Yeah, Pa. All of it. The confession spilled. The cover-up. The pressure on the coroner. The whispers quashed to protect the community. Whitaker deflated. Badge heavy on his chest. It was mercy, he muttered. Town couldn't handle. Mercy. Gabriel laughed. Hollow. You drowned him twice. But as cruisers lit up the lot, state police rolling in on the call, something shifted. Justice. Belated, but real. They crashed at Gabriel's after. Bodies entwined on the lumpy mattress. Letters spread like a map to tomorrow. You did it? Alex murmured. Lips to Gabriel's temple. For him. For us? Gabriel corrected. zipping nothing but peace. But Willow Creek wasn't done clawing back. Word leaked fast, texts buzzing by noon, the diner abuzz with scandal. Harlan called, "Shop's on fire with this shit. Gap. Lay low." Pastor Reynolds thundered from the pulpit Sunday. "Sins unearthed don't stay buried. Repent or rot." The mill hands cornered Alex at the gas station that afternoon. 3 of them big, bearded, reeking of chew. "Heard you're stirrin' the pot. Cali fag," the leader snarled, blocking the pump. "Town don't need your kind." Alex straightened, keys jangling. "Kinda late for that." "Gabriel's kind too." "Deal with it." Fists flew, quick, ugly. Alex held his own, a knee to a gut, but they swarmed, boots thudding. Gabriel got the call from a pump jockey. "Your boy's bleedin'. Man. Hurry." He flew to the ER. Hoodie snatched from the Jeep, heart in his throat. Alex was stitched up, split lip, bruised ribs, but grinning through the morphine haze. "Told ya." "Gamble." Gabriel sank beside the bed, hand in Alex's four-tangled one. "No more. We're out." Alex nodded, wincing. "Chicago? With Elias. If he'll have us." The plan crystallized. Sell the Ford, pack light, chase the skyline Daniel dreamed of. But leaving meant facing the town one last time. The going-away party was Harlan's idea, a send-off at the garage, neutral ground under flickering fluorescence and the tang of WD-40. Word spread. Half the town showed. A uneasy truce of flannel and suspicion. Coolers sweating Bud Lights on the concrete floor. Pastor Reynolds declined, but Tommy came sober, nursing a Coke, eyes red-rimmed. "Deserve this," he muttered to Gabriel, handing over a check, his savings, scrawled for Daniel's memory. "Build something," Tommy said. "He'd like that." Gabriel pocketed it, the hoodie slung over his shoulder like a cape, not zipped a declaration. Alex mingled easy, ribs taped but spirit unbroken, charming the wives with tales of L.A. Sunsets. Elias arrived late, gaunt in a wool coat, but his smile was genuine, hugging Gabriel tight. "Brought reinforcements," he rasped, nodding to Marcus from Chicago, who unpacked sketchpads and talked exhibits. As dusk fell, Harlan killed the lights, spot beaming the bay door where Daniel's old workbench stood, tools oiled and waiting. "To Danny," he boomed, raising a bottle. "And to boys who love boys. 'Bout time we said it." Cheers rippled, tentative then full-throated. A few holdouts slinking out but most staying, clinking glass to metal. Gabriel pulled Alex aside then, to the back lot where fireflies danced like errant stars. "Unzip this," he said, holding out the hoodie. Alex raised a brow, amused. "Thought you were done with it." "Not done. Passing it." Gabriel slipped it over Alex's shoulders, zipping halfway, the fabric dwarfing his frame but fitting the soul. "Danny's ghost. Keep him close." "For luck." Alex's eyes glistened, pulling Gabriel in for a kiss that tasted of closure and dawn. "Love you, Hoodie." "Love you," Gabriel echoed, the words free as breath. Elias joined them, box of letters under arm. "Chicago waits. Gallery opening next month. Daniel's portrait. Centerpiece." He paused, voice thick. "He'd be proud, Gabriel, of the man you unzipped into." They left at midnight, convoy to the highway, Ford leading, Jeep tailing, Elias's rental sandwiched. Willow Creek shrank in the mirrors, cornfields silver under moon, the river a dark ribbon tying past to present. No goodbyes, just waves from silhouettes, Harlan's broad, Tommy's hesitant. Chicago swallowed them whole, hustle of L trains, steam from manhole covers, diversity like oxygen. They crashed at Marcus's again, then found a walk-up in Logan Square, 2 bedrooms, fire escape for smokes, walls begging for Elias's art. Gabriel enrolled in community college, auto design, dreaming hybrids that hummed green. Alex freelanced fixes for rideshares, his swallow tat a conversation starter at queer bars. Elias mentored, his cancer a shadow but not a shroud, chemo days met with takeout and bad movies. Months blurred to milestones. First Pride, rainbows drenching the streets, Gabriel marching unzipped, Alex's hand high, Elias's show, Daniel's eyes gazing from canvas, sold to a collector who wept. Letters from home trickled, Harlan's gruff updates, Tommy's halting amends therapy. Coming out. Wish me luck. One August evening, rooftop barbecue with the city sprawling electric below. Gabriel felt it. Peace. Hard one. Alex slung an arm around him. Hoodie, now Alex's talisman, draped casual. Regrets. None. Gabriel leaned in, lips brushing. Danny was right. Love's the only trap worth falling into. Elias raised a toast from his lounge chair. Chemo thin but eyes bright. To brothers. To boys who love. And to the hoodies we leave behind. They drank to that, laughter mingling with traffic hum. The Mississippi a distant memory. Gabriel whispered to the wind. Miss you, Danny. But we're good. And for the first time, the ghost smiled back. Not in regret, but release. In Willow Creek, change crept slow as spring thaw. Tommy's coming out made headlines in the Gazette. Local man embraces truth, sparking talks over coffee, a few alliances forming. Harlan hung a rainbow sticker on the shop window, small but defiant. The bridge got a plaque, for Daniel Hale, lived bold, loved true. No more jumps. Just crossings. Gabriel visited once. That fall, Hoodie in his duffel like a relic. The grave was wildflowers now. Headstone etched simple brother. Lover. Light. He left a letter, Elias's sketch taped inside, and drove away lighter. Alex waiting in Chicago with open arms. Life wasn't fairy tale. Scars itched on humid days. Doubts whispered in quiet hours. But love, it was the engine, purring steady. Gabriel unzipped fully then, not just cloth but soul, stepping into the light Daniel had chased. And in that American sprawl, from Iowa fields to Windy City towers, he found not just survival, but grace. The end came gentle for Elias, winter's grip loosening to spring. Hospice in the apartment, surrounded by sketches and the brothers he'd bound. No regrets, he murmured, hand in Gabriel's. Tell Danny. I waited, then peace, a final breath like a sigh. They buried him under the oak in Chicago's Graceland Cemetery. Poets and rebels for neighbors. Gabriel wore the hoodie that day, zipped for Elias, unzipped for Daniel, and as dirt settled, Alex squeezed his hand. We'll carry them, they did. Years on, Gabriel's designs in showrooms, Alex's shop thriving, a dog named Hale bounding through their brownstone. Weddings legalized, parades routine, the world inching toward mercy. Willow Creek faded to holiday cards, But the lesson lingered. Love wasn't a trap, but a bridge. Cross it, and shores connect. And on quiet nights, Gabriel would trace the hoodie's seams, now frayed as memory, and whisper thanks. To brothers lost, to loves found, to the boy who'd never taken it off, until he could wear his heart instead.